Hi there. This time I'd like to talk about Ronnie Rodeo. Now, a lot of you may not remember Ronnie. He became president in 1980, almost 40 years ago. And he started what I call Ronnie Rodeo's reactionary Republican Revolution. Now, even if you don't remember Ronnie Rodeo, you probably have seen his name all over the country. There are streets and there are public buildings named after him. There are even statues of him. He must be a great hero. Well, no. As a matter of fact, Ronnie Rodeo did more to damage our country than such traitors as Benedict Arnold, Jefferson Davis, and Lee Harvey Oswald. And Ronnie Rodeo took an oath to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. Yet his impact on our nation was antithetical to the Constitution, especially the Bill of Rights. He sold out our government to the domestic enemies of we, the people of the United States. Now, Ronnie was not really a con man like the current occupant of the White House, but he was an actor. He was, like all actors, skilled at causing audiences to suspend their disbelief. Ronnie wasn't actually a very good actor. He wasn't a great actor, but he took his acting skills in a slightly different direction. He became a spokesperson. Rather than convincing people that he was a character he was not, like most actors, Ronnie started convincing people that a message that he was delivering, crafted by somebody else, was believable and important. And now a lot of actors perform in commercials, but Ronnie had a special gift for being believable. He created a character for these commercials who seemed like such a nice, kind, regular person that you believed he was your friend and were sure he would never mislead you. First, Ronnie used those skills to sell products, especially those of the General Electric Corporation and other corporations. Later, he went on to sell the corporations themselves, convincing Americans that these corporations were beneficent institutions, not, as they really are, economic creatures created under state law whose primary objective is to maximize profit. And I talk a lot about this in some of my other videos, so I'm not going to go into it too far here. Now, he was so good at this that the corporations and the wealthy aristocratic families of the United States hired him for an even bigger job, taking over the United States government. Now, while his supporters, who were actually just other minions of his owners, started to infiltrate the Republican Party, Ronnie became governor of California and learned how to play the role of a populist politician. So when he finally became president, Ronnie was able to institute a revolutionary series of laws and regulations which completely reversed the direction of American history, destroying the American dream and delivering almost unchallengeable power to the corporations and wealthy aristocratic families who had hired him to do this job. Now, I discuss this in greater detail in some of my other videos, but a few key elements of Ronnie Rodeo's reactionary Republican Revolution were, he drastically cut taxes for the wealthy, promising that this would somehow benefit the poor and middle classes, whose taxes he raised. An obvious lie. He removed and loosened the regulations that had been put in place to restrain the economic entities from cheating the American people and despoiling our environment, while at the same time restricting the rights of working people. Free the corporations, enslave the workers. He started the process of bankrupting our government and crashing our economy by wasting money on unnecessary weapons while neglecting the needs of ordinary citizens. There's a whole lot more, but the main impact of this revolution under Ronnie and subsequent presidents has been to steal our wealth and subvert our government, all to the benefit of cabals of corporations, clubs of wealthy aristocratic families, and all at the expense of we, the American people. This has gone on long enough. And fortunately, the current occupant of the White House is not a likable actor like Ronnie Rodeo. He is an obvious con man, cheat, and incompetent. Yet he has accelerated the evil, un-American policies of Ronnie Rodeo's reactionary Republican Revolution. The American people are not stupid. And I think that the forces of corporations and aristocracies are now overplaying their hand. We can expose this evil, and our nation will rise up in anger and overthrow Ronnie Rodeo's reactionary Republican Revolution. So, it is time for a counter-revolution. Now, I discuss several specifics in some of my other videos, but it's easy to figure out the broad outlines of what the counter-revolution needs to accomplish. We need to reverse all the laws and subversions of our institutions and our national character which have been perpetrated by Ronnie and his successors. We need to tax the wealthy and use the money to restore our education system, our infrastructure, and to support our less fortunate citizens. We need to put corporations back in their place as economic entities subordinate to the will and managed for the benefit of human beings. We need to abolish aristocratic privilege and reestablish the American dream for all citizens and residents. We have waited long enough. It's almost 40 years. We have suffered long enough. There is no better time than this. Counter-revolution now. Thank you all for your attention. I hope this has been helpful. I hope you have enjoyed it. And I hope you'll join me again sometime.